it's Christine from Hollishandscreate. Today is October 13th, 2024, and this is my floss tube episode number 61. 61 is appropriate for me as I just turned 60, so I'm working on my 61st year, so it's kind of kismet that my first one is episode 61. This is my channel about cross stitch primarily. Occasionally I'll have a few other crafts thrown in. Today I will show you a couple of little things that are some wool applique, but primarily cross stitch. If you are a returning visitor, I'm so glad to have you back, and I hope that you'll enjoy what you see today. And if you've wandered into my channel by accident, then I hope that you'll stay a little while and maybe find some inspiration, and you'll come back and you'll want to subscribe and hit that little bell to let you know when I've got a new floss tube. I'm so sorry that I am late. I intended to film 2 Sundays ago, and I woke up on Sunday morning and I had a blood vessel break in my eye, and so literally one whole half of my eye was completely blood red. So I was like, ooh, it did not hurt, didn't feel anything. There wasn't a scratch or anything like that. It was just, I used to work for an eye surgeon, so I wasn't too, freaked out. It's just a hematoma, basically. And anyway, it took a little while. I probably resolved about this last Tuesday. It's still somewhat bloodshot, but I don't think that should scare anybody if they tune in. I definitely would have been scaring somebody if they would have tuned in 2 weeks ago if I'd have tried to film. So that's why I'm a little late on my September wrap-up, but that's okay. We'll, you'll get to see just a little bit more of what I had on the docket for October, and, we're good to go, right? So let's dive right in. What else has been happening? September, there's my book of days. I don't totally sticker it up, but I do add some stickers. And I think I stitched pretty much maybe 2 days. I believe there was no stitching. So here we go. And then I did get to 18 finishes because I highlight there. And then I've started doing my October stuff. So anyway, there's my cross-stitch Bible, so to speak. I'm going to kind of leave that out because it does tell me. I like to let you know how many days I did stitch on something. So I'll leave that out with my notes. And let's dive on in. So last floss tube, I went through and I talked about my plan to do fall smalls. So I did that. And I think what we'll do, I'm going to sneeze. Shoo! Excuse me. Okay, now hopefully that's out of the way. I usually just one. I'm not like some people who are like 2 or 3 and they know that it's going to be 2 or 3. So let's go through what I finished. Now, I'm just going to quickly show you this one because I had picked it up on like August 31st and finished it really quick, like on September 1st. And I believe I showed it to you last time. This is Autumn from Lizzie Kate, and I did not get it finished. This month was really just about picking things up and trying to finish them. So let me see, find a place to put that. The next one that I believe I showed you because it was a new start. I had just started it on the 1st and then did my floss tube on Monday. And that was from Sub Rosa, the pumpkin bowl. I hope I'm showing these up close enough. I don't want to get too much glare there. But there was what I had started. And I finished it on the 3rd. And I think it turned out really nice. I'm very happy with it. So that is Pumpkin Bowl by Sub Rosa. And Sub Rosa you can find on Etsy. Then the next one on the 4th, I had a whip that I needed to finish, and that was Bittersweet and Broomsticks by Brenda Gervais. And, you know, I think I left the pattern over there. But anyway, here's my finish. And I stitched this on 36 count Butter Crunch by Needle Bling. And I love how it turned out. I did substitute heirloom pumpkins for fallen leaves. And heirloom pumpkins, I believe, is a color and cotton thread. I'm in one of the thread clubs and have been for a couple of years. I get the 3 skeins a month. So here is October 31st, not October 31st, Bittersweet and Broomsticks by With Thy Needle and Thread. So that came off my whip list, which was even better. Okay. Then let's see, what did I do? Oh, then I actually did the 9th through the 13th. I did some homework, and I'll show you that in just a bit when we get to the whips. I had some homework to do on Lazy Bear, and I treated that chunk of homework as a small, and I got to where I wanted to finish, and I was happy with that. So then after I did that, on the 15th, I picked up Bent Creek, and this is my working copy of the Candy Corn of Mischief. Now this comes as a whole kit, and I did not utilize the pearl cottons, or let's see, it comes on 18 count linen with a, you know, with a pearl cotton from DMC. But I wanted to do mine as a little small, and here is my finish. And this, I know this linen is from Dames of the Needle, but I don't remember what the name of it was. But it's real grungy, and I think those little candy corns are so cute. It's going to make a cute little small when it's all finished. So that's from Bent Creek. And I don't remember, I believe this was a 40 count linen. Pretty sure it was a 40 count. So there's that one. Then let's see. After that, I left on Wednesday the 18th and went to Colorado with a couple of good friends, Stitcher friends. And we hung out in Colorado from Wednesday until Sunday. And on Wednesday evening, and I'm pretty sure it was an evening, could have been at the airport. I don't remember exactly. I flew, you know, just from Kansas City to Denver, but I might have stitched in the airport in Kansas City. I don't remember. I picked up one of the Hinsites that I showed you in my last video as part of my Fall Small lineup. And I picked up the Vintage Crow. And I really enjoyed stitching on this one. And here's my finish. Didn't it turn out so nicely? I really, really love it. And I believe this is on Hemingway, maybe. I had Hemingway pulled, but I could have switched it out. Wait, I don't remember. But anyway, here is, again, Vintage Crow, and I really love it. These are so cute. So I'm going to have a whole pile of finishing. So that one took Wednesday, Thursday, finished it on Friday. And then we did start another little kit that I'll show you in just a little bit while we were out there. And then on Sunday, I had a new start while I was in the Denver airport. I did write that one down. This one was the Hollow Scarecrow. And this was the freebie that I had shown you that I had gotten back in 2006 from Cross-Eyed, well, it's a Cross-Eyed Cricket pattern. It was a freebie through Stitch and Stuff which was in Reading, Pennsylvania. They, Dot and Deb, they've retired and closed the shop several years ago. But that used to be my L&S when we lived out in Pennsylvania. And so that was just a freebie that I've had for a long time. And this one is called Hollow Scarecrow. And I did have a viewer ask if I would share that, and I did scan it because it's a freebie, so I did scan it and email it to her. If you're interested and you would like to stitch this one as well, you know, just email me at my email address I have down in the description box. And since it's already scanned, I'll be able to just email it to you really quickly if you'd like to have it. But I stitched this on 40 Count Frog Gray by Mandy Donna, which has got, look at, oh, see, there you can see some of that modeling in it. I think it looks really cool. Turned out really nicely. I love it. Okay, so that one was Hollow Scarecrow. Then, let's see. Oh, so my friend Yvette showed a picture of her stockings, her Halloween stockings on her tree, her metal. She's got a black metal tree. And when I saw that, I was like, ooh, I've got this book. This book. 'Tis Halloween from Blackbird. Can't go wrong with any Blackbird. And I have always, always loved the stocking that's on the front. I like them all, but that one specifically, I really like. So I did not have this in my fall small bag, which I was remiss in doing that. I should have done that. Oh, well. But Yvette to the rescue, and with some inspiration, and I grabbed some 36 Count Vintage Homespun by R&R and sat down, and I believe, let's see, this, I started it on Wednesday the 25th and finished it on Thursday. So quick, quick, quick. Isn't that just so cute? It's going to be so cute to, get it all cut out. And I have tons of Halloween fabric, so I will probably line it, when I put the backing on. So anyway, that just turned out really cute. I'm really happy with that. And I want to stitch, some more. So I'm going to probably put them all on the same linen. So I've got it all ready to go. And I'll just, keep stitching on that same. I really, really love, let's see, here we go. This one. I think that's cool, but that is solid stitching. So I probably won't do that one this year. There was another one that I was going to show you real quick. If I can find it. I love this one with the candy corns too. I think that's really cute. So that one's a good one and wouldn't be, super dense or, long to stitch. There's so much inspiration in this book. Look at this one. Oh my gosh, I love this one. This book was put out in 2009, but it is still available. That's a cute one. That may have to get stitched too, but again, really a lot of stitching, and I'm doing quick stuff. And the nice thing about Barb and Alma is they were great to, in their books, give you all kinds of other little things that you could do. Like here's a little pumpkin pin keep, and they give you all the instructions how to do that. Isn't that adorable? So sweet. So you get a little extra whenever you stitch anything from a Blackbird book. Okay. Okay, and then the next one, I was down to the 27th of September, and I had some homework that I had to do, which I'll show you here and again. That was on Olga's stocking. And then, so I did 2 days on that. Then that took me to, I needed to finish my homework. Oh, that was the other thing. I needed to finish my homework on Dwelling Place. I'll show you that here in just a minute too. So I did a couple days of finishing homework on that. And then that left me with like one night. And so what I did was I pulled Witch Training Academy, which was a whip, and stitched on that. So all in all, I ended up with 7 finishes in my fall smalls in September. I'm very happy with that. I think that worked out just great, and I can't wait to get them all finished. Maybe they'll get, they might get finished. I don't know. I'm going to have to decide if I'm going to try to finish them and where I'm going to find the time to do that, versus just sending them to Terry and have her finish them. So we'll see. But they might get, they might just come back from Terry in time to pack up and come out next year. Or I don't know, some of these are really cute. Maybe I'll just, put them around here in my sewing room and look at them all year long. So that's where I got to with that. And then let's see. I did my 2 evenings with Witch Training Academy. Let me show you the new starts that are not finished yet, but I hope to get them finished so that they don't become whips. And we'll go from there. Let's juggle without making too much noise. I'm sorry for you guys who listen with earbuds. Okay, so October was kind of a month of starts, and that was kind of my plan, is to have a month of starts. Primarily for bigger starts, but I did have 2 small starts that I'll show you that I did. One when we were in Denver, which I referenced, and I'll show you that here real quick. We, the 3 of us, and then we had 2 other ladies join us on one of the days from the Sampler Guild of the Rockies. And they joined us for stitching all day long on Saturday. And that was a lot of fun too, sitting around the table. But we had gotten, as our fall fundraiser for the Guild, this sweet design that Paulette from Plum Street Samplers designed for the Guild. It's called Tomato Hill. Isn't that cute? We did talk about making it pumpkins, but I think in the end, and Becky, I believe she just finished hers. I have not finished mine yet. We stitched on it for one afternoon or one morning or something, and so this is how much I had gotten done for the couple hours that we stitched on it. So I need to sit down and get this one finished, and I'm going to try to do that this month. And if not this month, I'll definitely finish it in November. So it's Tomato Hill. And if you are considering joining a guild, I would highly recommend the Sampler Guild of the Rockies. It's only a $30 membership fee, and you really get a lot of goodies or a lot of things, participation. I also do the book club through the Guild. So we meet once a month to discuss a book that we've read for the month, which is a lot of fun. And there's usually, like, I don't know, maybe 10 ladies who we get on at a Zoom and talk about that. And I really enjoy that. There's just a lot of camaraderie things. Now, I don't live local, so of course I, have to attend meetings via Zoom. But if you're, even visiting, going to be in Denver at the time, you can always attend the meetings in person. And they have a seminar in April. They do some auctions. There's just all kinds of things. Ooh, excuse me. So anyway, that's my little PSA for the for joining a guild. It's always good to, just, I don't know, have that camaraderie and people who are like-minded. Okay, the next one that I had as a start in September that did not get finished was, and I had shown you this, was on my list, Moonlight Haunting from Blackberry Lane Designs. This was this came out in 2016. See if you can see that. And I don't have a huge start, but there's my start. And I am stitching this on Dusk by Fiber on a Whim, called 4 colors, or called 4 threads. So there's my start on that one. So I definitely will be working on those two because I don't want to have them go onto the WIP list. My goal is to get things off the WIP list. And that was kind of my idea of the fall smalls, was to start these smalls, but start them and finish them. Start them and, you know, finish them. Don't just add to the WIP list, but get some finishes. So my 4 big starts, and I'm sorry if I'm a little discombobulated. I don't know why, but I feel like I'm discombobulated today. Okay, moving on. My October 1st start. October 1st, I started this beautiful design with my friend Olivia, Pumpkin Hollow Quilts, Autumn 1831. I had ordered this pattern in from Kimberly Nugent, Samplers Not Forgotten, because I absolutely love it. And so I had emailed her and asked for an order, because obviously I wanted one, and then I put them in the shop. And I'm not sure if Olivia saw them in the shop or if she was already aware of this design. She probably was, because she stitched earlier. If you watch her, she stitched the Christmas, and I can't remember if it's called My Gift. I don't remember. There's a Christmas design from Kimberly that is very similar with the way, you know, this border is done, and the house, I think, is identical. Maybe doesn't have the little creature sitting up here on top, but it's like almost like she was going to do a series, and this was the autumn one, and then that one is the, you know, the holiday, Christmas holiday one. But this is what we started, Autumn 1831, and it was funny because Olivia had just messaged me and said, hey, you know, would you see about kitting this for me? And I'm like, oh my goodness. I said, I just ordered that in because I love it and I want to stitch it. So we, and I think she talked about this maybe on her floss tube, but we decided to start this on October 1st, and we're going to go for a finish, if we can, by the end of this month, which means I got to get my needles going. But here's where I am so far. And I'm making pretty good progress. I do want to talk about our changes. So we're stitching this on 40 count fresco from Picture This Plus, which if I turn that, you can kind of get an idea of how that modeling is. You'll get some of these really kind of cool grayish patches. It's kind of hard to describe the modeling in this, but it's really, really beautiful. And it can look spooky, I think, if need be, which is kind of what we're going for with this particular design. But anyway, so because we're stitching on fresco, and actually, even if you look at Kimberly's chart, you will see all those purple flowers? You don't see them on here. They're very ghosty. She has them using eggshell, Classic Colorworks eggshell, and then, of course, on a very, you know, neutral linen. Now, our linen is not as neutral as what she calls for, but even when we started stitching with the eggshell, it still was really very light. And so I texted Olivia, and it was funny because she kind of was having the same thoughts about the same time. We've been totally, as my husband would say, ESPN, you know, connected when it has come to this design. And I texted her, and she's like, I was just thinking the same thing. And she said, I'm thinking purple. What do you think? So, you know, I ran to my thread wall in my closet, and I pulled out some things, and we talked about them, and I stitched part of one, and I loved it. So I'm going to go through what I'm stitching. So the house is done in barn gray. Okay. So we left it in barn gray. Okay. You can kind of see that. So what we decided was for these motifs and flowers, these flowers, the flowers coming out of the urn here and this motif, those are called for to be in barn gray. And so I told Olivia, I think I'm going to do mine in Moonlit Path from Gentle Art. Now I'm hoping you're going to be able to see this. I don't know if you will or not. Maybe. It's so subtle, the difference. Moonlit Path, if you don't have a skein of it already in your stash, is a grayish purple, but very subtle. And you see it when you're stitching. You see the variegation come out when you're stitching, and you definitely see that it looks that grayish purple versus just the barn gray. So that's what we did. We kind of wanted to keep it still, you know, like the gray, but maybe also have it be a bit of the purple as well. And so that's what we did. We switched to Moonlit Path for those particular flowers and motif. And then for the flowers on the vine, I switched mine to Wisconsin Woods because I just happened to have it. I believe Olivia is using Cauldron. I'm not 100% on that, but I think she had pulled Cauldron. I just didn't happen to have any Cauldron, but I had Wisconsin Woods, and so I stitched some of it, and I love the color, and so I think it's beautiful. And I think it goes really well with the bittersweet berries, the purple. Isn't that pretty? Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I really love stitching this. I'm glad we're trying to do the finish in a month because it's such a joy to stitch that I really don't want to put it down. And when you find one you don't want to put down, you just keep right on going. Okay, so that was our October 1st start. Sure it's on. I have it housed in my Christy bag that she made for me. I love this. So pretty. Then, as I mentioned, my birthday was this month on the 9th, and I had kind of different plans, and then when I was talking with Pat and Becky before our trip to Colorado, and then while we were out there, we were talking some more, and next thing you know, by the time we left Colorado, we had a different plan, but I am completely okay with this plan because it's also something that I have wanted to stitch. And I will show you here. Let me get it put on the board. And everybody knows this one. Another classic from Blackbird Designs, Midnight Watch. And what we are going to do is no alphabet. So I guess our hashtag to go with our posts will be hashtag no alphabets. We, Pat and I discussed that we know our alphabet and we don't feel the need to stitch it. So we are going to now I'm stitching mine on Tobias from Seraphim, 36 count Tobias. I think you can see that. For some reason, my lighting doesn't seem like it's great today. I don't know what, everything's the same, but, and it's sunny outside. I don't know. Maybe it's the time of day. This is later in the afternoon. I usually try to film in the morning. So this is my start. It's only Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday. It's three days of stitching. So you can see that this is not going to be a huge design once you cut out the alphabet. And what I'm going to do, come down the rest of the border, going to come right across. I'm going to see how they put the year after the Z and before Barb's initials here. I'm going to actually drop that year and put it into the bottom of the border in the middle, on the bottom. And then, but of course, it'll come, you know, right across here. So I think it's going to be really nice. I'm happy about this one. And take it off the board. This one is housed in my lovely new bag from Starry Owl Stitchery. Tara makes fantastic bags. This is with the Bittersweet Blooms fabric line from Teresa Kogut. Oh, I love this bag. Love it, love it. So that is where Midnight Watch will reside until it is finished. Now, I do have 2 more finishes on the docket. We'll have a start for Beck's birthday, and Beck's birthday is on the 25th of October. I will show that to you when I do my wrap-up. I'll probably delay a few days, you know, go into November a little bit since I'm, you know, kind of delayed in getting my September wrap-up done in the middle of October. So I'll delay a few days. We're actually leaving on the 10th of November to go to Italy for a couple of weeks for the baby's birthdays. Diana baby turns 2 on the 14th, and Alaska turns 4 on the 17th. So we're going to go over for the birthdays. So I will try to make sure I film before we leave so that I can finish off, you know, the October and talk about November plans. And I will at that time show you those too. Blue Moon is a new release that came out at the August virtual marketplace. And it is from the Artsy Housewife, Gigi. Cool design. And so we're going to start that on the 25th. And then with my good friend Michelle, we're going to stitch Annie Hyssop, which is a primitive needle design. And we're starting that on October 31st. So I wouldn't show that anyway because that's a Halloween day start. So those are my 4, you know, my 4 big starts for this month. And then in between will be, you know, whip work, right? So that's kind of the plan for the rest of this month. Let me show you that whip work since we kind of segue right over into it. And let me get my pile and hopefully I don't drop everything. If there's a big crash, somebody send help. Okay. So on Fridays, my group stitches, oh, hang on, this is the wrong, oh, well, you know, that's fine. Let's go to a different thing. I mentioned to you that I stitched for 5 nights on the lovely Autumn on Lazy Bear Mountain. And we've got this divided into chunks. And I am on one of these 2 chunks. The house is divided in 2 because it's so dense. So that's where I am. And so for my 5 nights, what I did, let me put this onto the board so it's easier to show you. I kind of didn't respect the line that was drawn in between, you know, the 2 halves that we had created as assignments. But I did what I kind of felt like was probably enough to be an assignment, okay? So I did the line of pumpkins across, the foundation, and then outline, of course, of the barn and the roof, and started to do some fill-in on the barn, and that was my 5 nights, and I was like, okay, I think that's a pretty good chunk of the assignment, and I can do the rest of the barn. And yeah, the rest of the barn, the cupola that's on top, and the crows. There's 3 crows that are up on the top of the top of the barn as well. And that can be the next month's assignment finish. Let me pull this out. Isn't this looking such a beautiful design? I can see why they call it the Beast, though, because it is big, but it is cool. I love it. I love it. Some are talking about, you know, chopping it off because it is kind of the tale of two almost two designs, right? You've got this chunk down here, which is all the, you know, like the cemetery. And then this chunk here, which is almost kind of like two different designs put together. So some are talking about, you know, maybe just doing this whole thing and having like a long, it'd have to be a ginormous drum if you were doing a drum. I don't think that would work. I think you just have to probably maybe have just a long rectangular framed thing. I don't know. You could do a long pillow, have it like a bench pillow or something. But anyway, so that was the work that I did on Lazy Bear Mountain. That's design is by Kathy Barrick. She's one of my all-time favorites. And I believe I am stitching mine on 40 count Old Stationery by Seraphim. And that resides in my Buckleberry Quilts bag. I am using the Vicki Clayton silks, her conversion. I've shown you this before, that I keep my silk bobbins in this handy dandy little plastic case. And when I'm ready to open it up to stitch, I have the little, you know, conversion legend, the thread legend, and I just lay it there so I can look real quick at it and pull out my bobbin, and it works out very handily. So that's Lazy Bear Mountain. Okay, now where was I going? I was going to Dwelling Place. That's right, Dwelling Place. Stitching this with a couple of friends. We started this for a birthday last year in October. Another friend. All the cool people are born in October, plus Tara. No offense to anybody who's not born in October, who's also a good friend. Dwelling Place by Teresa Kogut. Beautiful, beautiful design. And I did do my homework here. This is a big one, so it's getting harder and harder to actually show this whole thing. I had to, if you've not seen this before, I am a bottom right starter, and we had our assignments going up in chunks. So I started at the bottom, went up, and then came down this side, which allowed me to finish the house, which is nice because that's a big chunk of stitching. And so then I came up and over. That was the next assignment, was this middle piece, and then this corner, next assignment. Now, if you look at this, you might see that there's a little linen inequity down the left side. As I was coming across here, I began to panic. I don't know what in the world I did. I knew that I needed 1.5 inches on either side, and I promptly put 2 1/4 inches on this side and left myself with 3/4 of an inch here. So it will get framed very tight. So I went down because I was a little concerned that, you know, because this linen was from Atomic Ranch. I bought this in Tulsa, and sometimes it happens that, you know, the linen is not cut quite straight on the thread. And I was concerned that as I was stitching, I was hoping that this was going to stay a consistent 3/4 of an inch all the way down. Luckily, it did. So I did come a little further down than what was technically required, but this is where I am. And it's so exciting in some ways, though, to have all this down on the side, because I'm really getting to see that the finish is in sight and what it's going to look like. It's just gorgeous. Don't you love it? I love it. So, so pretty. So pretty. Dwelling Place. And the very talented Teresa Kogut. That lady doesn't disappoint. Put this back in my bag. Okay. The other one that I mentioned that I had done a couple of days on, Witch Training Academy. again, another Kathy Barrett design. And the model, and I've seen the model, was done on seaweed by Fox and Rabbit. But my good friend Teresa, stitching it on Spellbound. And actually, she's finished it. I just was talking to her about this. And she was stitching it on Spellbound by Needle Bling. And I loved it. And, you know, a lot of times when you've seen the model, you're like totally convinced that, you know, the model's the way to go. But I just loved it. So I had just the smallest start that I think I showed you in my last video, which was, you know, the little bats. And I think maybe I had come to about right here. Just the tiniest little start. So what I determined that I was going to do is a quick little, you know, chunk of stitching to kind of count as a small, was to finish the brown portion. So you can see that brown portion of Mr. Moon. So I'm finished with the brown portion of Mr. Moon on the outside of him. Next will be to fill in the yellow, and you'll do more of the brown to create the face. You can see that. That moon slays me. I absolutely love that moon. He is just too cool. So that's the little bit of work I did on Witch Training Academy. Again, 40 count Spellbound. Resides in my Nikki's Notables bag. I don't think Nikki's making bags anymore, but I really loved them when she did. She would do the tall design, and I love that tall design. I love this fabric. Very autumnal looking. What's next on the whip list? Oh, I had some homework to do on Olga's Autumn Stocking from Plum Street Samplers. Clearly, I love Plum Street. Clearly, I love Kathy Barrett. So there's Olga. And I've stitched Olga's tart. I love that. All right, let's get this on here so you can see this one. And there's my progress. So I'm headed up to the top of the stocking. I just love the look on Olga's face. My cat Sierra, she's almost 15. She gives you that kind of condescending, like, look. It's so funny. And she doesn't even meow anymore. It's more like, yeah. It just cracks me up. She definitely is an old lady. I think Olga's an old lady. But I love this design. We're about ready for another assignment, Katrina. So stitching this with a group of nice ladies. But we're taking our time and, you know, just keeping progress going so that we don't let it sit forever and ever. Stitching it with the called for. I am doing mine on 46 count Milk and Honey from Fiber on a Whim. Okay, and then my Friday nights. Friday nights, I do a video chat with a very nice group of ladies. And we work on, most of us work on Hawk Run. Occasionally there's a few other things that we'll work on. Some are doing other projects, but this is our Friday nights at Hawk Run. And I switched to Autumn at Hawk Run to get some more work on that turkey during the fall season. I'll go back to Shores when I finish this block. Here is Autumn at Hawk Run. I'll kind of push this up close. Hopefully you can see that without it blurring. And I'm working on Tom. So I am making progress. Though I will tell you, there are 4 ears of the devil corn in that block. I don't know if I'm doing all 4 ears. I may just do 2. Here's where I've got this one started. And I'll do the one for sure going across here up by where his name is, Tom. I may take a couple, there's a couple of these like diamond motifs that are in here. I may pop a couple of those in here instead of doing 4 ears of corn. That corn is all confetti. But anyway, I love Tom. So I just hope to have him finished by the end of November. I'll be happy about that. And then I will probably go back to shores, work on shores. Alrighty, and I am stitching this with the NPI silks. I am stitching it on a 46 count, and I'm almost positive it's a Victorian Motto linen from when I used to belong to the Victorian Motto Linen Club, but the name of it escapes me. Could be Classic Sampler. I don't remember. But it is a 46 count with the NPI silks. Okay, is that all my whips work? Woo! Okay, do you need a break yet? I almost need a break. But we're 46 minutes in. I'm going to run through what my November Smalls editions and kind of what I'm going to do for that time period. Then I will show you a little bit of haul, or as I affectionately call it, hashtag search and seizures. Sitting in the airport. We watched a lot of FlossTube when we were in Denver, and we were actually in Silverthorne, so we were outside of Denver over the mountain, and watching Saltbox, Carol Whitchurch, and she totally sent me off on a goose chase a couple of times. And when we were talking about, she has her delightful deliveries, and I texted the group and I said, well, Carol has her delightful deliveries. I have search and seizures, because that's kind of sometimes what it becomes. Especially when she shows all of the things that she has that are in her stash that are glorious and have been out of print forever. That's what happens when you have a stash that's as good as hers. So, I will go through the November stuff first, then we'll do the quick stash enhancement, haul, search and seizures, whatever it is you like to call it. It's buying. And then giveaways. I've got some things to give away, and I'm sure those people will love hearing their name called. So let's do it. Okay, so here's what I kind of added to my kit, and I'm a little irritated with myself because it occurs to me as I'm sitting here, the first one that I wanted to start is actually downstairs, but I'm not going to run down and get it. I'll show it when I do this in a couple of weeks, because I'm not going to start these things until the beginning of November anyway. But basically, it's the Harvest Blessings, which was the companion piece to Brenda Gervais from With Thy Needle and Thread, when she did the Coming to America, you know, for the 400-year anniversary of the landing at Plymouth. And it was the little Harvest Blessings pillow that she had. So I'm going to do that one, if you're familiar with that. If not, if you come back and see me in a couple of weeks, I'll show it to you. Okay, the other one that I added, which I really love, this is from 2022, but it's called Thanksgiving Day. It's from Sarah Anita Di Campagna, which is Cecilia Voda. She's an Italian designer. And I really love this. I'm sorry for the glare. This is one of those resealables that is a real nuisance when you take it apart, because it tends to catch the paper for the pattern. But the cross stitch on these two, one is 55 by 54, and the other is 45 by 18. The third one's 51 by 47. They're all small. So I am pretty positive that I can get one of these designs finished. Anyway, so it's called Thanksgiving Day Tries, which is trio, meaning 3 in Italian. So that one I have. And I had not shown you that when we were going through fall smalls in September. The other one that I forgot that I had to pull out of my Blackbird binder, is Give Thanks. And I believe this one is out of print right now. You never know, though, with Alma. She just did a big re-release of 14 patterns, I believe. So you never know when one might come back up. So anyway, this one is Give Thanks. So I thought this would be a cute one. And also, look at this little guy. And I'm actually leaning towards stitching this one first. Let's see. And it's little. It is 53 by 61. So that will work. That's probably the one I'm going to do. Isn't that sweet? Love it, love it, love it. So this is Give Thanks by Blackbird Designs. And I think I showed you this one in September, Buttoned Up Thanks. So I really like this one. Thankful, Grateful, Blessed. And it's just a cute little small, and she includes the little mother of pearl buttons with it too. So this was, I don't know, I think it was like a round robin kit or something from Galleria. Right before COVID, maybe. Let's see. It's definitely 2020. And it's just one that I never stitched. But the stitch count's 45 by 60. So again, all smalls. And if I'm really feeling ambitious, this is 59 by 59. I will do Strut and Tom. This was hugely popular when it came out from Lindy Stitches. Maybe 4 years ago. Yeah, 2020. This came out at market in 2020, which was literally the last weekend before we all went home and discovered we had no toilet paper. So, Strut and Tom. So those will be the 5 charts that I will work on in November to try to do, smalls. Get them out, start, finish. And I am digging this, guys. I think I'm going to, and I actually have already kind of pulled out a few Christmas ideas to do the same thing. I don't do a ton of Christmas stitching. I don't decorate with a ton of Christmas stitching because I have so much Christmas decor that's like antique, a lot of glass, hand-blown crystal, things like that. Old Polish things. My husband's grandmother was from Poland. We have some really beautiful old Polish ornaments, things like that. So sometimes, depending upon what you're stitching, the stitching doesn't match maybe that type of, Christmas decor. So I don't do a ton. I did finish And Heaven and Nature, which I had already shown you, and I got it actually stretched and pinned this week, and then took it up and ordered a frame yesterday. So they said, like maybe 10 to 14 days before the frame is in. So I'm very excited about that. And I think that particular design, because of the old look of it, will fit in really well, with the decor. But again, I don't stitch a ton, but I wouldn't mind, stitching like a bunch of little January things, or, things that are more like for the winter season that can be put out and do like maybe a couple of bowls or something like that in the middle of the, kitchen table, or, that kind of thing. So I think I'm going to do that. And I'm just going to keep going. As I see little cute smalls, I'm popping them right into these bags, and I'm keeping dedicated bags. And that way I can focus on doing some smalls instead of just always stitching these ginormous things, which I love these ginormous things, don't get me wrong. And I will not stop stitching ginormous ones. But I also would like to get some quick finishes. Quick finishes. I don't get quick finishes. I think my friend Tara's got like 40 something. You know, I don't know how many of them are all smalls versus, you know, big ones, but I'm, you know, I'm never going to have 49 unless I just, like I did 7 this last month of smalls. If I did, you know, smalls every single month, yeah, I probably could do that, but it's probably not going to happen. Not going to happen. Okay. So that was my little November Smalls additions. Let's talk about a little bit of haul and a fun trip that Roberta Lyle, you probably know her as Lenny's partner or partnered with Lenny, the Sable Stitchers. Roberta lives about maybe 40 minutes south of me here in the Kansas City area. And I had seen on Instagram where Stacy West from Buttermilk Basin has opened an additional location in Excelsior Springs, Missouri, which is about 15 minutes from my house. Now, is that a dangerous thing? Oh, yes, it is. We went up. I sent her the Instagram post and said, shall we make a trip? And she was in England and I was in Colorado at the time. So we agreed that when we each got back and kind of got, you know, things going, we would go up there. So we went up this past Thursday. And oh my goodness. Loved it, loved it, loved it. So I'll show you a few of the things that I picked up from there. And I'm sorry for the crinkling. I should have taken this out before I sat down. I try to always take things out if I can. Remember to do that. Okay. Isn't that exciting? Isn't that beautiful? I'm just kidding. There's something obviously supposed to go in the middle. I wish you could just buy that and be like, woohoo. So this is called Simple Circles Through the Year. And I bought October's. Now, Stacy has different designs. Not every October always looks like this. You could have a jack-o'-lantern. You could have, oh no, you know what? I bought September. I apologize. But again, September's, there was another variation of this one too with like acorns and a bird. And, you know, there's a good, I think that's a good picture without the glare. Get it up there a little closer. Isn't that cute? So basically, I just have to do it. They come in a full kit. All the goodies are in here and the instructions. And I am going to, after I finish this, there's no Chiefs game today, so they're on a bye. And so I am going to clear my table and I'm going to cut my pieces and I'm going to go downstairs. And that's going to become one of my fall smalls to get finished. And I have so many kits that if I don't do that the same way, you know, they're boxes of this stuff and it's crazy. I need to just get it all done. But let me show you the other two little adorable kits that I couldn't walk out without. This one is a fall bouquet pillow, and I'm a sucker for a white pumpkin. Love this. Again, full kits. All the goodies right there. The only thing that you have to add to it is your stuffing and your thread. You do have to have your threads. And this is, I looked at the model, this one, it's all a little bit of stem stitch and the rest is all blanket stitch. Super easy. Super easy. Love it. I already have fusible webbing. I also have the applique glue, you know, things like that. So I've got all that stuff. And then this was another one that I just love this one. This is called 3 Witch Hats. You know, this one, let me try to pull this out because I really want you to be able to, this has got a pattern inside the kit. So like, here's fabrics and wools, everything that's, included, okay? So let me, this is plastic inside plastic. But I really want you to be able to see this. Isn't that adorable? Love it. It is so cute. And again, this is only 7 by 12 inches framed. So, and you don't have to frame it. You know, you could do a pillow if you wanted to, or I don't know. But I thought she had it framed in the little shop, and it was just so cute. Is that losing focus when I put it up that close? Sometimes you go up close and they get real blurry. Okay, so 3 witches hats. That was it. It was hard to walk away. Roberta was so funny. She's like, well, I'm not leaving here without buying something. So the cool thing is that where they are located, they are not a standalone shop. It's not just another buttermilk basin brick and mortar. They are located inside the 414 building, and it's called 414 Company. And this couple who are antique dealers and had a really cool shop across the street moved into this and bought this building, and it used to be the old Dodge dealership in downtown Excelsior Springs. And they're trying to make sure that they keep the downtown area going, you know, somewhat vibrant. And the building sits right next to the Chamber of Commerce. But it's a huge, you know, building with fantastic light and windows because it was a dealership. The lady, it's primarily the lady, it's a couple, but primarily the lady, her sense of decor and the way she has things, you know, displayed is just fantastic. And it's not like when you go into an antique mall or something where it's booth after booth after booth. This is all big and huge, but just with cool, you know, displays and designs, and you walk through and it flows very nicely. And in the center of the building, they actually have, probably was like if you took your car in and you needed a place to sit while they worked on your car. The guy of the couple has turned that room in the center into a man cave. And he's got couches, but he's also got like antiques that are automobilia. That's what my husband calls it, automobilia. Automobile memorabilia. And then he also has on one wall a great big large screen. So if there's a game on, like on the weekends, he can, you know, have that on. The guys can go and sit and the girls can antique or go. Now that Stacey West has her stuff in there and there's the whole section for Buttermilk Basin, they can be doing all of that while the guys are watching the game or whatever. On the other side there, they have like a small cafe, which is open on the weekends. So you can sit and there's, you know, probably about maybe 12, you know, smaller tables, and you can get something to drink, grab a sandwich, you know, whatever. I mean, they're doing a great job of, you know, bringing people in and making this very multi-purpose, and it's pretty cool. They're having an open house, I believe, with 12 or 14 vendors on the 22nd and 23rd of November, I believe it is. And Stace will be down. She'll have workshop stuff going on, you know, for Buttermilk Basin, because she does have an area off of the side of where all of her retail setup is, but with tables, and you can see where it's got the cutting tables, and then there's tables and chairs for you to sit and to work on projects, and they can teach classes. So it's very cool. If you get the opportunity to come to Excelsior Springs and you want to, you know, see something different like that, go for it. It was well worth the trip. Roberta and I had a nice time, and we were glad that we went. So anyway, so that was, you know, my purchases from there. I did just get my Color and Cotton October Primitive Neutrals 3 skeins. And there's my 3 skeins for this month, if you can see those. Very appropriate for October colors. And let's see, what else did I get? Okay, so I got a couple of things. Remember I told you that we watched Carol Saltbox, and, you know, I had to immediately start searching and purchasing. She showed the Halloween Memories from her friend Susan Aki's book. This is a great book. The quilts that are in it are fantastic, but she also has a section in the back. It's called Let's Talk Cross Stitch. And she's got a whole ton of like little smalls with some finishing ideas. You know, with how to make a pin keep. She gives you the instructions, what to do, and you've got the patterns for each of those. So it's a multi-purpose book with some gorgeous, gorgeous Halloween quilts. It's called Halloween Memories by Susan Aki. Great purchase. Thank you, Carol. Then she showed on her Halloween features floss tube, this one, and it's a big pillow, I believe is how Carol has it, because it was a 22 count. Well, it calls for 22 count. I can't remember if she said she did it on 22, but she definitely had it as a large pillow. Tricks and Treats by With a Needle and Thread. I did have to go to Brenda's website, Country Stitches Online, to find this one to purchase it. And it arrived. It took about a week or so, but that's okay. Love, love, love this. I'm not going to do it as a ginormous pillow. It will, excuse me, it'll be a smaller finish. And it's all with DMC, so easy enough to do. But love this one. I just think that's adorable. I love how she's kicking her leg out to the side. Can you see that? So cute. So cute. Again, thank you, Carol. I want to say that in our group chat that we have two Carols, Carol Saltbox and Carol Craigo, and they stitched Scary 2, which is a Plum Street Samplers design, and it got a couple other people in the group to stitching, and so now there's like a hashtag Beware of the Carols or something like that. I thought that was funny. It's something like, I can't remember, it's hashtag something Carols. Carol's fault. Beware of the Carols. Carol's influence. Who knows? All right. Next one that I found from the Primitive Needle. Witchy. Anything from the Primitive Needle that I can find at a good value, a good price, I'm going to be all over it. This was an old Stitchville inventory purchase. Love that witchy design. So I was able to get that. I was very excited about that. Then I purchased this from, is this Madame Chantilly? Yes, Madame Chantilly. No, Collection Tralala, sorry. And it's Mr. and Mrs. And my son looked it up to see what I think it's Mr. and Mrs. Pumpkin. But anyway, love this. And so I actually seen her post this on Instagram, and so I went and ordered it for the shop. So I kept one for myself. So if you like that one is in the shop. And I purchased, because I love that bag so much with the Bittersweet Farm by Teresa Kogut, I went and bought myself a charm pack. So I have that. Then another Starry Owl Stitchery purchase. Oh, look at this fall bag. Isn't that beautiful? Love it. There's the back. And look at this. Oh, pumpkins. They're glittery pumpkins. It's so cute. So I got this bag. I'm a sucker for her bags. She sells them on Sundays is when she uploads them into her Etsy shop, the bags for the week. Oh, so I have an alarm set. Today, I ignored the alarm. I didn't even go look because I have bought so many in the last 2 months. It's ridiculous. And let's see, two more things. Then we'll do oh, wait a minute, maybe 4 more things. And then I'll let you go. So I just got this one. I got this in the shop, and when I saw it, I love this, where love resides, home. So this is kind of a wrap up to the Quaker series, you know, that she has done, the Autumn Quaker, Spring Quaker, which is, you know, that same kind of thing with the middle design. This one's a little smaller, which is nice. It's 140 by 142. Just got this into the shop. Oh, I really love this. And you know, everybody loves a red house in the cross-stitch world, but you didn't have to do a red house. My house is not red. I may not do this as a red house. I may make it look like my house. Cool. Anyway, so that one I love. Got this fabric, and I'm hoping that I can show this to you where you can actually see the color. This is called Colonial Blue, and it is a grayish taupish blue. Sometimes it is so difficult to see what a color really looks like. But this is from Dames of the Needle, and this is a relatively new color that she has come out with. And it is so pretty. I really love this. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this like you really should be able to or not. But it is gorgeous. So I kept a chunk of that for myself. There are perks. Occasionally there are perks to having a shop. You work your tail off most of the time, but there are some perks. And the last two things that I got was from Shabby Fabrics, because that's another website that I seem to go to an awful lot, is this pumpkin patch pillow. And this is a combination, oh no, you know what? This is all, it's all die cut. It's all laser cut for you already. And you know what? It's all cotton. There's no wool. All cotton. And I have the threads that go with it. The thread set. These are 50 weight cotton. So I'm excited to do that one at some point. And this one is wool. This I just thought was so cool. It's a scalloped mat. Look at that. So it's with wool, and the poinsettias, you stitch them all in. You use these beads in the center, and then you shape them so that they look like poinsettia flowers. Oh, look at that. Love this. So I'm excited to do that one as well. Okay. I think that's plenty. That was plenty. I really got on a roll. I don't generally show a lot of haul, and I don't generally even sometimes get a lot of haul. My biggest weakness is fabric or linen, because I see patterns all day long, you know, with the shop. But I kind of got a little... This is this time of year. October's my favorite month, not just because it's my birthday, but just the autumnal palette, the colors, that warm color, just it appeals to me so much. And I just love the decor at the time of the year. I'm so sad when it's over. But it's like baking. I also want to bake. Don't you want to bake? When it starts to get cool, it's like you need to fill the house. I made a spice cake last weekend for my husband. My husband's birthday is 2 days before mine, and he's exactly 2 days older than me. And so I Sunday did a spice cake, and he's like, come in the house, and he's like, oh man, it smells so good in here. I'm like, yes, it makes you want to like burn candles, spice candles all day long. So yeah, baking and buying. There you go. That's my new hashtag, baking and buying. Oh, you know what? I do have one more thing. Do you guys follow Parish Farm Girl? She will post something, and I have purchased things from her on several occasions. I've got some strawberries and some things, but she posted one of her pears, and I just could not. I was so thrilled to see the post. Look at the little bees. Oh, I absolutely love this. She got started doing this with crazy quilts. She was buying old crazy quilts and cutting them and creating things out of them. Oh, look at this. And you can just keep looking and see new things. Look at the little bee that's embedded here, and all this beading that's done on the wool leaves with the little ladybug. All that. This is all beading. Is that not gorgeous? This was my birthday gift to myself. I love it. It's so pretty. So pretty. Okay, now I'm done officially. All right, let's do some giveaways. Okay. I know there's a couple of winners out there. And let's do the first one as the pumpkin house. This is a pattern from Hello from Liz Matthews. This came out in 2022. It's a cute one. It's a cute one. And the winner is Zimmerman 6565. Zimmerman 6565. Congratulations. Email me at the email address. It's hollishandscreate@gmail.com and send me your address and I will get this in the mail to you ASAP. Congratulations, Zimmerman 6565. And the next one is the Autumn Bee Kit from the Blue Flower. Gorgeous design. It's just, I just won't stitch this probably. I love the bees, and I am stitching her quilting bee, so I do love her bee designs. It's just this particular one I'm probably not going to stitch, the Autumn Bee. So I'll pass it along, and this one goes to Katie Cohagen, 1561. Katie Cohagen, 1561. Okay, guys, there's the two winners. Both of you, please email me. Congratulations if you won something. That's exciting, exciting. And I'd say I'm probably not going to do a giveaway this time because I'm also going to be getting ready to leave in like 3 weeks to go out of town and we'll be gone for 2.5 weeks. So when I get back, I will probably do one for the end of the year. Okay, guys, I think that's it. I know there were a couple of questions I tried to answer in the comments. If you go back and reading those. If I did not get your question or I missed it, I am so sorry. Please send it to me again, or you can email me or yell out the door. And I will try to make sure that I answer. So thank you so much. It's been 1 hour and 15 minutes. This is a long video for me. So I'm going to get off of here and I'm going to go down. I'm going to get this quilt, this little round plate pumpkin design and get it all cut out, and I'm going to see if I can actually put it together, get something done that I purchased immediately, not going into the box. Okay, thank you. I hope everybody has a great rest of October, and thank you so much. Remember to create, your hands create every day. All right, take care. Bye-bye.